course it's snowing when we have to go to Navy Pier. The objective is we're going to Navy Pier to attend Tyler Posey's concert. I'm gonna try my best to see if they will let me in to take pictures, just for the concert, because I'm trying to build my work for my portfolio today. Just look at outside. It's not great. Forehead's exposed. I'm not having a fun time, but we're at Navy Pier. Oh, it smells so good. Succulent. This is literally, we're walking through. This is where I had prom. I think we found it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really scared. This is taking a lot of risk for me. I don't know what's going on. Everyone here is not helping. So we got free tickets, but plan kind of flopped because apparently I can't take photos. It's disappointing because I'm carrying this heavy bag, but at least I tried though, right? Posey and Phem. I'm sitting on the floor because I'm packing right now and my room's a mess. I am just now filming a story time because I've had zero time. It's been months since this all happened. We got to the event. We didn't have tickets. We couldn't take photos, and we tried to get help, but literally none of the staff knew what was going on. This one lady did though. She's the real MVP in this. Like 30 minutes later, she came up to me and my brother and she's like, hey, I have 2 extra tickets. Like, do you want them? And I was like, oh, are you sure? I think like her 2 friends were supposed to go and they didn't either they didn't show up or they didn't want to go. I don't know what the case was, really. I don't remember. Yeah, so she gave us the tickets and I was like, oh, how much? And she was like, no, like, don't even worry about it. I mean, we were there. I did want to enjoy the concert. But nobody could figure out if there were tickets left. And we were waiting in line. There were these people, and I was just getting bored. And there were these people in front of us, and they were like having full-on conversation. I wasn't eavesdropping, but they were like talking about stuff, talking about like the convention, the actors, and the people who were there for the weekend. I like just felt like asking them, I'm like, oh, where are you guys from? And they weren't from here, but they started talking to me about like where they're from and like why they were at the convention, like what they're doing and stuff. But then we finally got in, and there's like 2 sides. So it's like the stage in the middle, like the walkway, and then there's like a row of seats and then like an area of seats, right? And I think we were gonna sit on the right side, but I was just like, right. And there were a bunch of people standing up front. I assumed they were VIP or something like that. It was pretty small. It was a pretty small thing. And then the people who we saw in line, they called us over and they're like, oh, come sit with us, come sit by us. So we sat by them, and then I started talking to them, and they were talking to me about like who they were seeing for the weekend. So they asked me if I have ever been to a convention, and I was like, oh yeah, like 9 years ago. That's where I actually met Tyler Posey, the person who's performing. I pulled up a picture, and I was showing Erin. She was like, oh my gosh, he looks like such a baby. He barely had any tattoos then. So she's like, oh, can I show my husband? And she showed Jeffrey. So she like passed the phone, and he was like, oh no way. Like he said basically the same thing as she did. And he's like, oh, you gotta show this to him. He was like, oh, are you meeting him this weekend? And I was like, no, unfortunately not. That's why we're here today. He's like, you have to show this to him. And in my head, I'm like, man, how am I gonna show this to him? Why would I show this to him? He probably doesn't even remember me. And he was so adamant on me showing him this photo and then telling me how, like, I was like, oh, he probably wouldn't remember me anyway, right? And he was telling me how, oh, no, he remembers everybody. He was attending the event, but also volunteering as security at the same time. So he gets up, and I really wasn't thinking very much of it. And he gets up, he goes past me, he goes past my brother, and he, like, walks over to, like, the black curtains in the back. I was like, what is he doing? And I wasn't thinking anything of it, but his wife was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna get us kicked out. She was like, look, he thinks he owns the place. It just wasn't clicking in my head, right? And like, I continued talking with her. She gave me this cute little charm bracelet that she made, and then he comes back and he literally looks at me and he goes, you're meeting him after the show. And I was like, you're meeting him after the show, he wants to meet, he wants to see the picture. Then his wife was like so happy about it. And then later on, Phem, she was opening for Tyler, her husband, and she had like everybody come up to the stage. Like nobody was sitting down, because I think originally we were all supposed to sit in our seats or like stay in our seats, but she had everybody come to the stage. Anyway, so I was like, nah, I don't think it's gonna happen. Like, everybody's gonna be tired afterwards. Everybody's gonna forget about it, right? Like, it's not gonna happen. As soon as the show ends, Jeffrey comes up and he taps me on the shoulder and he's like, okay, let's go. I was panicking because I was like, first of all, he's not even off the stage yet. I felt so weird because people were definitely looking. Like, they were looking, and I'm like, who am I? Who am I to be going back here? I'm nobody important. These people are probably like, oh, why is she going back there? I was so scared. I was so hesitant to go back because I was like, I feel like I'm not supposed to be back here. So we get back, and I like waited behind the curtain first because I didn't want to just like follow him in there. He goes in and he comes back out and he's like, come on. And I was like, okay. So like I go inside and I'm like, hi. And then Jeffrey's like, this is the little girl I was talking about. They were probably expecting like a little girl, basically. And then so he was like, oh yeah, like show him the picture. So he goes, yeah, let's see this picture. He was super nice. They were both so sweet. Phem and Tyler were super sweet. And then Jeffrey leaves me by myself, and I was like, oh my God, where is he going? He's just gonna leave me here. So then I pull up the picture, and then I show Tyler, and he's like, oh, sick, this was Chicago too, right? And I was like, yeah, this was 9 years ago. And then that's where my brain I was so starstruck. I was so starstruck that after that, I was rambling on about the most random things. I was so awkward and cringe. I remember thinking, like, 9 years ago, I'm going to meet Tyler Posey again. Oh, when I do, redemption. Like, I'm going to be less cringy, less awkward. That is not what happened at all. If anything, I was 10 times more cringy and awkward than I was 9 years ago. That's gonna haunt me for the rest of my life. I literally said to them too, I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm so awkward and being so awkward right now. And he was like, no, you're so good, like, it's totally fine. It felt like I was in there for a lifetime. It was probably a good 5 to 10 minutes, but I was suffocating. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I told my mom when I got home, and she was like, did you ask him for a picture? Did you ask him for an autograph? I'm like, no, why would I do that? I mean, I was grateful for the opportunity to even meet him because there were people who low-key paid to meet him for the weekend. I felt like asking, like, I didn't want to ask them for anything. You know what I mean? So I didn't. It would have been cute to have like a little, oh, like 9 years ago picture and then like this year picture. And they were probably tired. Like, it was literally right after their set. But it was a nice experience. Again, they were so nice, and I'm glad I got the opportunity to talk with them, even though I don't remember half of what came out of my mouth. I was like, yeah, this is not how I imagined it would go. I don't remember what I even said at the end. I'm like, I'm sure I'll meet you again someday. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It was fun, and then we left. We had to catch a train, so we were like, yeah, gotta go. It was great. It was a great time. Thanks to Jeffrey and Aaron for being kind of like our parents for the 4 hours we were there. I do miss them. So that's how I met Tyler Posey and Phem. Yeah. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of the video. It's not much, but enjoy. The mission is to get out of Navy Pier. My head hurts so bad because I haven't eaten. I ate a granola bar all day. Oh, and a cup ramen. But it was so awkward. I feel so bad though. And then I'm never doing this again. Waiting for the train though. 30 more minutes. I'm gonna cry. I gotta go.
That looks terrible in picture.
It's not a picture, Mom. Where do you think we're going? And we're here. We're here. Here again. Please use a little. Oh, okay. The chair is a hot mess. It's too cold. Look at that. Well, we're here at Jollibee. Yay. It's freezing outside. They didn't have pineapple barbecue. It's okay. Ube pie. Show the inside? Let's fit. Inside. Ooh. Literally a trendsetter because anywhere we go, there's been a line of people. Like we walked in, nobody, and all of a sudden, there's a line of people. The trendsetters. As it drips on my pants. How is it? Steamy. There was a whole other side of Chinatown.
I just could not. I'm doing okay.
Thank you. How was your Chinatown trip?
Good, thank you. Great.
She said, great, help me. It's already 7 o'clock. Great. Oh, my phone's dead, so we're currently charging it. Hmm? Because you're smiling like it's a video though. It's not a picture. Oh my god.